Hello and herzlich willkommen zum Auf die Fresse, the WXW review podcast in English. I'm Ian Hamilton, joined once again by Mike Kilby. And Mike, we're in the middle of a summer pause, but weather is far from summery around here.
It's it's not summery at all. In fact, last weekend I was in sort of the Ruhrpott, so Düsseldorf and Hagen and Gelsenkirchen and Cologne, and it was pretty miserable there as well. So it was nice. A few weeks back, my ceiling collapsed and I had water coming through it, which was quite
Fucking
fun.
hell.
That's quite funny. It's actually I'm looking at it as we speak, and I've got duct tape over the hole.
How
That's
did that happen? Something
something in the ceiling. It's from the rain. There's something wrong with my roof. So, yeah.
I was going to say, like 2 weeks ago, I went up north to see my parents, and we had hailstones. Like Saturday afternoon in the middle of July, like massive hailstones, not bouncing off the car roof and what have you. Like they're saying the summer, but I suppose everyone's thinking global warming's just high temperatures, and some areas have had that, but here we just seem to be getting winter 6 months late. But yeah, got a fair amount to cover, I guess. Just for one show, but a lot, and I mean a lot of bloody announcements for Shortcut for Top Tag Fest.
Very news heavy, I think, this week.
Yeah. So, go through the Frankfurt show quickly. Of course, this was the last Wheel of Wrestling before the summer break. Started with Amboss against Patrick Borg, Ilya Bloom, and Elmaric. Icarus getting the win back over Patrick Borg, but I guess post match was Mikhail Smolek. We mentioned he was previous shows.
Kickboxer, isn't it? Yeah.
Kickboxer. He trains with German MMA, GMC. Charged for ring, attacked Amboss and stuff afterwards. He's put himself in shortcut to the top. So, it feels like we've been saying this for like 4 months now, mate, but we're slowly inching towards Amboss and GMC, and they can get this out for another 6 months. There's a big cage match at the start of January.
Yeah, they need to. Yeah, I think Bork and Smolek. I think Smolek's sort of in the post-match stuff. He seemed to have. He seemed to sort of have the strikes on point, and the ability of him to sort of just fly in and look immediately at home. I feel he was a lot more. I personally think he's a lot more impressive than Bork is. Not that Bork isn't impressive, but I think Smolek. I think at least from that, we haven't seen him in a match yet, but he seems to have like the pro wrestling bug at least. But yeah, no, it's. Is there two more, or do you have it being like the academy and versus Amboss or something like that? You could get some of the academy guys in or something like that. But yeah, that's something at least they can head towards.
And I think we've already done Bork in a singles match as well, but if you're bringing in guys from GMC, keep them outside of one-on-one matches might be a good idea, especially if it's just to do. I don't say just doing spots, but just doing stuff like this post-match thing. And then if you need to, like we're doing WWE with the part-timers, but the guest stars, coordinate the hell out or choreograph the hell out of whatever match you want to do. That may be the way to go. And the fact that they all train in the same place, it's gonna be damn side easy to do. But we'll keep an eye.
There's no harm in, I think, you say keep them out of the one-on-one matches. There's no harm putting them in. Putting Michael Smolek in with, somebody who I think is somewhat of a trusted hand. So someone like, I don't know, Norman Harras or something like that. Someone who actually sort of does have a decent idea of what's going on. You can have Smolek just tear him to pieces, and it's not going to be an embarrassment for either of them. So I think I don't think necessarily restrict them to tags or battle royals.
Well, next, save some of them on the shock top. But next we had Peach Tahani beating Tristan Archer. This was kind of payback for the Driver Champions, where Archer won through foul means. But yeah, this was Tahani overcoming the shortcuts. Landing that slingshot cutter, get my teeth in, and that's the win. Tristan Archer goes off to Japan, as we'll touch in a moment, for the summer. Tahani looking forward to picking up with Axeman in 2 weeks' time, shortcut to the top. So getting back on board and yeah, getting some momentum because he's got a big deficit to overturn next few months.
Yeah, effectively, he's got to be perfect, isn't he? Until Tagfest, doesn't he? So.
Pretty much one slip up and Matt's curtains for him. But speaking of someone who wasn't curtains for, only friends for their first title defense, they beat Ultimate Somber MBM. That's Rivalry to retain tag titles. It was a pretty decent match, but again, it's the kind of thing of first title defense against a debuting team. I don't think anyone in Frankfurt would have suspected Rivalry were going to win, but they didn't look too out of place. And you've got, as we're going to touch on later on of Tag Festival, there's a bit of dearth of regular tag teams in WXW right now, and I think they would do worse than giving them like a regular roster spot.
Yeah, I think MBM. I've as I think as the world's biggest wrestling cult fan, I kind of have seen quite a lot. I've seen quite a lot of rivalry, so I think they could perfectly fit into WXW. They kind of got the whole odd, strange bedfellow sort of tag team dynamic. They're a little bit like. I feel they actually sort of do remind me slightly of Monster Consulting with kind of the smooth guy and the crazy guy, that sort of thing. But yeah,
Yeah,
they're a good team, and I think that they've they've been bubbling over on the sort of the second or third tier, should we say, of European wrestling. Done a little bit on the lower levels in Britain, and I think it's worth. I think they're worth a scout at least. Anyway, chuck them in for a couple of weeks, see how they do. And yeah, I think they're a good fit for WXW.
that's
Don't
what
necessarily think for Tagfest, but they certainly could be here.
maybe coming out. And I saw GWF booked them against their champions Peach Tahani Fast Time Mudo for the show in August. So yeah, moving on for the ladder there. But moving on the card, Margaret beat Baby Allison. So this was had Aaron Insane as a special guest ref, kind of culminating all the tensions we had for the last few months. With Allison feeling disrespected, Margaret kind of took it easy on her throughout. But they were made to hug it out at the end, even after Aaron Insane got slapped a few times. But yeah, wasn't too enamored of this one. But no, what not for the whole. We've talked about the way the storyline could have gone in the past. But to me, it feels like you've done the whole Maggots number one, Baby Allison's number 13 shortcut for top next month. To me, it feels like you've kind of wrapped it up, but you've still got like the postscript kind of thing to go, where maybe a little bit more to deliver.
Yeah, I think, but really after Shortcut, there's not a lot before Tagfest, really, is there? So, um, if Shortcut is where we wrap up the story, then we're into the business at Tagfest, and I think you have Maggot who potentially may be on the road to losing his girlfriend. You have Maggot who potentially sort of might lose his friend in Psycho Mike at Tagfest if they don't do very well. There's a man who's got lost nothing, and he's the son of nothing, but he's got nothing left at all. So I think there's half a chance of him being in a really really bad position by the time we get to Tagfest.
And again, also you saw he's starting number one, so if he's going to be the guy to win, he's going to have a long, long run to that. But we see how it goes. Come back second half, Nick Schreier beat Rambo. This wasn't for the Academy title, but this is more backdrop for Norman Harris to come out, distract Metahan and Rambo as well, and allow try to get the win. Main match for me, I think, on this was Michael Oku beating Igor Blanc. Oku's
Yeah,
first win
very
into
good.
XW, and I mean, I've been told this is really good from people who were there, and maybe from one person who was in the match, and they weren't lying. This stuff was absolutely fantastic. I mean, Oku's only had what 2 or 3 matches into XW at this point. First time in Frankfurt for XW, definitely. And okay, had a few fans, shall we say, at the start, but they have that building on their feet, and if you can go from cold to that kind of reaction, that's extremely promising.
Yeah, exactly. I thought this was really good. I think this is actually probably one of the best matches WXW's done all year. I think it's sort of when we head towards December, this has got to be sort of in the match of the year kind of conversation. Sorry, should we say when we get to December? Yeah, I say coming in cold. I think we'd always said that Michael Oku is ready made for WXW. I think it was always going to work for him. And I think this is him against maybe not somebody who's obviously Igor Blanc is a star in WXW, but he's not maybe one of the he's not the face of the company, but he's come in with and he's put an absolute barnstormer on. And he's laying his gauntlet down. He's laying his gauntlet down for shortcut to the top. And there's I wouldn't put it past him to do very well in that competition either.
He has a record with Rumble style matches, at least.
Well, this year at least, yeah.
Yeah, keep an eye on that. Obviously, main event: Jörn Simmons Levine will beat Norman House Metahan in an I-Quip match. Looks to be the end of a feud. I mean, this was 25 minutes, I think, bell to bell. Yeah, this could have main events. You're not going to have it done in out in 5 minutes, but it wasn't offensive. But yeah, for me, we've said this countless times. The feud I don't think it's ever been for us, even though we've liked some of the people in it. But yeah, it just feels like it's been dragged on maybe 1 or 2 shows too far, and now everyone's gone their own separate ways, at least until September time, and hopefully they are kept apart. But yeah, what do you think? Very plungerific, but yeah, not much apart from the Keystone Cop stuff at the end.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad it's mostly, well, it seems to be over. I think these four have been tied together for, I feel like, since before COVID, to be completely honest at this point. Glad it's over. The match itself was, it was whatever. But yeah, it was thankfully towards the end of it all.
We've got a few announcements coming up, but first, we seem to have this increasing roster of names and faces overseas. So, you know what time it is? So mostly looking over to Japan. So Oscar Loibe's had a few noteworthy matches since we last recorded. He did the New Japan Strong Independence Day shows at Corkin Hall, July 4th in a pre-show tag, winning alongside Ryusuke Taguchi and Yo, beating Dragon Lee, Kengo, and Takahiro Katori of, I think, Freedoms. Definitely New Japan regulars back trio. Next night he was meant to have taken on JR Kratos, but Kratos injured. So instead, he lost in about 5 minutes to Satoshi Kojima, and I think he avoided the CM Punk elbow to the What's It switch. Always good stuff. We're in the middle of a G1 over in New Japan right now. So I think all the cards so far, well, I know the cards so far have been G1 matches. All the cards announced with undercard stuff, I don't think he's on any of those. So yeah, he's not going to be seeing much until maybe the back end of next month, if the earliest. So they're keeping steady. But
get him in shortcut.
Don't see why not. I mean, he's providing personal security for Kevin Kelly at the moment, which worse alternatives, I guess. But mind you, there are a few guys we're familiar with who have been very busy in Japan. There's a few over traveling right now. Tristan Archer, he debuted there July 16th, so about 2 weeks ago as recording. 7 matches in his first week. I just click over to Cage Match so I don't screw these up. So debuted for Big Japan on July 16th in a tag with Daichi Hashimoto, ex-World Tag Team Festival competitor, beating Daimonji So and Daisuke Sekimoto, former, of course, Unified World Wrestling Champion. Beat Keita Yano on the 17th for Dove Pro. Then a few more matches in Big Japan, beating Kazushi Hashimoto on the 21st. Was involved in a battle royal on the 22nd, and then beat Kotoseka Fuda on the same day, and then beat Kazusama Yoshida in a trial series match on the 23rd, and then he went across town Tokyo to was a Triple T Total Triumph team, team Fuminori Abe in a losing effort for their tag title. So he's done a hell of a lot in that first week over in Japan, whereas Igor Blanc, he's had a few matches, but not quite as many. Teamed with Satoshi Kojima, and be saying his name twice in this segment, beating Black Mensuri and Yoshitatsu. Yes, that Yoshitatsu. 16th for All Japan. Then on the 17th, he lost to Yashi in Dove Pro. And two more losses in All Japan. Number 22nd, Team Fukawa Sato losing to Rene Abe and Shuji Ishikawa. Number 23rd with Ryu and Matafusa losing to Atsuki Ariage and Soma Watanabe. And if I've butchered any of those names, yeah, probably have, but yeah, experience from anyway. Vinny Vortex / Tempesti doesn't seem to be surfaced anywhere yet, but
He is being advertised at
it's
least.
been
Isn't
advertised. I think it's for
Yeah.
Big Japan, so sooner rather than later it'll be popping up there. Heading over stateside, though, we have a new WXW Women's Champion. Delmi Exo beat Ava Everett on the Major League Wrestling Never Say Never show on the 8th of July. So it was title for title. Ava was hoping to win the MLW belt, but yeah, it was Delmi Exo, formerly of the Sea Stars, I think, in Chicago. She's now the champion, and she's defended the belt twice already, both on the Wrestling Open shows with Beyond Run on Thursdays. Beat Tiara James last week and Rebecca Scott last night as we record. So yeah, getting a few defenses in. Of course, Dalmi's been announced for Shock at the top, as we're going to touch on, but yeah, fair amount of globetrotting from WXW, in and around there, even if they've not been running shows for summer.
Yeah, you say the loan report gets even longer and longer, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it'll shorten down soon enough, but few news bits as we roll on. So, start of July even, WXW's Twitter account was deleted, not suspended, straight up wiped. No, it should be Twitter. It's Twitch for the time. I'm not going back and changing this. But yeah, WXW reported that their account suspended. They were below the age of 13 when they first signed up for an account, and at the time, Twitter, every now and then they will raise your account if they identify that you're underage at any point having an account. Whatever reason, they didn't seem to think this account tweeting wrestling stuff and wrestling photos wasn't some
Business, yeah.
yeah, wasn't a business account. We eventually got it back after about a week out, but since then they'd launched a mailing list, world.hey.com. Do like 2-3 times a week bullet point things, which if you want news bits, it's a good place any, I guess. They're not on Mastodon. I think they've said they're not going to be moving there, nor the new Threads app, because right now that ain't even a thing in the EU. I think some data protection thing. Meta's not getting clearance from the European Data Protection Agency over in Ireland. So as of right now,
It's a holding pen for British and American people.
yeah. And if you want to be part of it, I don't want to say campaign for your version of Brexit, but it's going to be one way you're going to get it anytime soon, or create a second account. And sure, there's ways. I know that Marvin,
It's not.
he's on Threads, and it's he's still very much in Germany, so there are ways around it.
Yeah, it's not worth it, to be honest.
Not for the moment, no.
From my perspective,
It's launched a big hullabaloo, but got very quiet because there was a lot of features missing. And yeah, I think it's one of those very kind of rushed out because I think it's a week before Twitch has another meltdown. I mean, it's a weekly occurrence now, but yeah, give it time. But it's one of those. I think it was launched in too unfinished a state, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, we're not launching a Threads account for that anytime soon. But meanwhile, going carry on from the Wheel of Wrestling Frankfurt stuff. So of course, they do the Shotgun backstage vlog. Load of news bits coming out of that. Yeah, Tristan Archer claiming Nigel Blanc just follows him around like a lost puppy because, of course, they're both off to Japan. I've had a few announcements for Shock at the Top, which will wrap up the end. Only Friends issued an open challenge for their tag titles. Baby Alice and Maggot kept taking pot shots from at each other, so that's not going to be something that's finished by the look of it. Rotations challenged Lawrence Roman for a shotgun title shot at Shock at the Top. And finally, Rambo Metahan signaled that they're done with Norman Harris, both to a team for World Tag Festival, before Rambo threatened to destroy Norman's car. Someone's been watching late 90s WCW, I guess. Levaniel Jern Simmons, they're also part of Tag Festival. Mikhail Smolik announced himself for Shock at the Top to get a shot at the Unified World Wrestling title. Because he wanted to challenge Robert Dreisk, but he's not part of the rankings. Yeah, that stuff happens if you don't have any matches under your belt. Yeah, so on top of the vlog, two more teams announced on top of those. We've got Latigo and Ares, Los Vipers. Ares, of course, part of Carrot this year. But they aren't exactly regular team. Like we're part of a faction, but we've had like maybe 4 or 5 matches as a duo, which that's the way Lucha goes. Meanwhile, Shigehiro Irie is coming back. He's going to be part of Tag Festival with Mizuki Watase. They used to be part of the Renegades faction back in DDT. Irie's second Tag Festival, having been there with Fuminari Abe last year. It leaves us for one spot left, and that usually would be for the champions. So I guess I was kind of holding out hope for maybe the Greedy Souls or a team from over here going over, but as it stands, it looks like unless Greedy Souls invade chocolate for top of the tag titles, um, it's going to be we're getting what we're getting. There's going to be a lot of put together teams from WXW in there.
Yeah, I mean it does for now. I think can't really do much. The teams they have are fine. Um, very domestic heavy, but it kind of feels a little bit like say it feels a bit like the Tag Fest from 2016 sort of thing. It was very domestic heavy.
Yeah, and we don't have a Spirit Squad like team either, so it's solid. But I guess we'll be touching on what may be attracting people to that weekend, or at least the announcements attracted a few eyeballs. First, course, short tops for next big show. That's going to be available as an iPay-per-view. You'll be able to watch it through German-MMA.de. That's going to cost you best part of €20. It'll be streaming live with German commentary. It'll appear on WXW now, but it'll be on a 7-day delay rather than usual 3 or 4 days. So if you really want to see it live, it's there, but it'll still appear on WXW now the following weekend. It's their first foray into proper iPay-per-view. I know the Mark Shuttle it was part of that fan forum they did on Tuesday on the WXW YouTube. And it looks like to have been how they reckon the internet's a lot greater than it was back when we used to go for media. And yeah, they reckon any issues shouldn't be coming from the internet side. And I'm now grabbing the nearest piece of wood to not jinx them with, but a very interesting one that they're going down this route, but also the cost we're saying is high because it's the whole economy scale thing. It does
Wasn't
make you wonder. Yep.
wasn't Anniversary live with the one that was on Build?
Build was on. I think it was like an hour's delay with some weird.
It was like the carrot where it was like an hour behind. You could watch the first half when the second half started,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
with
That sort of thing. Yeah.
some weird thing I think they put down to local law. So I don't know how it being a proper pay per view through an MMA website, and maybe it's because it's actually signposted as a sporting event rather than entertainment. I don't know. With some weird regulations that's behind it, but yeah, €20. Bear in mind, now is what €10 a month. It's a lot for one event, and I don't know if this is going to be. Obviously, it depends on how successful it is. If there's only 3 people watch, I doubt it's going to come back. But it is an interesting experiment. Maybe the festivals, let's say Tag Fest, maybe Carrot, maybe make that available on some kind of iPay per view if this is successful and glitch free.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good to try it now when there's maybe less people trying it. Get it all working, and then if they do want to stream Carrot, they can do it that way, couldn't they?
I suppose if people just drop in for one show, then you get match rather than people who want to wait and get a back catalogue. But and speaking of Drexel now, things literally as we hit record on this, they've uploaded the 2018 shows minus all the shotguns, which I don't know if that's intentional or not. Like, so it's like you got all the Tag Festival, Back to the Roots, obviously Carrot's already up. Superstars Wrestling True Color Shock of the Top Fan 8th anniversary show. But yeah, it's a bit weird how, like I said, the shotguns, they're the one thing they haven't uploaded. I don't know if that's something they are looking to do, as a blob at the end, or whether we're just going to be putting feature events up for now.
Well, it was always sort of implied that that was deleted, wasn't it? That was what they sort of suggested. Don't know how true that is, but I think it's. I think the likelihood of that coming back is pretty low.
We might get the Slam Fest with Bad Bones and a Broken Ladder coming up before the shotguns get back up.
Mm.
Yeah, at least because I know if you look on the place, I know it's a bit of a rigmarole because of the way YouTube arranges these. I think the 2017's got some stuff uploaded, but a lot of videos hidden. And then 2016, so it looks like for now 2017 is where the cutoff's going to be, but still, it's still a lot of content up there. I know they have been adding the Limitless Wrestling from the States, so
Yeah,
more
new
part
promotion in
promotions.
the seems to be a new
Speaking,
promotion.
yeah, expanding. Speaking of expansions, they were going to be going to Salzgitter WXW in September. That's been pushed back from September 2nd, 2023 to September 7th, 2024. So that really reduces the number of days between Shortcut of the Top and Tag Festival. Um, being withdrawn Mike D's off the shows in August in Bremen and Hamburg. Maybe facing Jacob Crane in Bremen and Sense of Ultra in Hamburg. I think last time Mood was replacing him there. Crane, no new opponent yet. An announcement for Tag Festival, or at least for the GCW shows. Nick Gage is being brought over now. We're just saying he's appearing, but I haven't said wrestling because I know GCW is being called out a bit for the Jeff Hardy not too long ago. They announced him, then an hour later they quickly said, "Oh no, he's not wrestling." But yeah, Nick Gage coming over to Germany for the first time in a while has gotten a few eyeballs on that weekend, but normally wouldn't even be given this for time of day. So yeah, very interesting
Yeah,
to see if that
I'd
does
be a
make his
surprise for them to be bringing Nick Gage over and he doesn't wrestle, but who knows with GCW.
yeah. I mean, that's the first announcement. So, I mean, hey, it's the fact that we're bringing over their biggest name, arguably. We all know who's under contract. But yeah, I know that because we're doing two shows for Friday one, you have to buy separately. And if you've got the festival pass, the Saturday evening one is included. So, yeah, I'll wait and see who else is announced. But that's certainly one that's got my interest peaked. But I will absolutely not be watching this from what I've seen I've got. It'll be standing in the back of the room because I do not come back home with glass anywhere near me. And I know what GCW is famed for these days.
There's a question. I swear light tubes were banned in the European Union.
Um,
I
yeah,
could have sworn that they were banned, so they probably can't have light tubes.
let's have a look. Uh, yes, banned. Oh, the EU's ousting standard life versions of 2, 4, and 8 foot tubes on August 25th. So it's be
They're
a
being
month
banned
before.
by September 2023. So come on, this actually could be the last show that ever has light tubes on it.
Yep, looking now, EU Commission adopts regulation uh, for sale. So I guess I don't know who's in the Xbox these days, but some people thought going to have to go to again with a German equivalent of B&Q and just buy off the remaining stock of light tubes or panes of glass. But either way, I'm getting hell away from ringside of that
Well, yeah,
show.
I don't like mercury poisoning, so that's my problem.
Yeah, well, I don't think LEDs will have the same effect either, unless you stand on the the other end of them. But yeah, maybe not quite as effective. But I'll see what else GC will be announced that weekend. And we've got the best part of 2 months to go to that. Beforehand, though, WXW, and this was one that really caught me off guard. They're heading up to my old neck of the woods in September, partnering with North Wrestling out of Newcastle. September 9th, running at the Anarchy Brew Co. in Newcastle. That's very hot on the heels of North's biggest show ever was at the Walker Dome in Newcastle about a fortnight ago. Same place Impact's just announced they're running with North. But yeah, it's very telling that that show they're going from Progress, which let's be frank, didn't exactly do great numbers back in May, up to North in September. And North, since they came back from COVID, they've been doing solid 200, 250 sellouts every other month. And I guess, by the time this has been released, they'll have announced the main event for that show. Leon Slater, Peach Tihani main event. That's going to grab a lot of eyeballs from people who maybe watch one, not the other. I've already got my ticket, but I know so that's on the weekend of the Great North Run half marathon. So all the hotels in Newcastle, which is strange anyway, are not available. Like when I looked, you having to go like 30, 40 miles away from Newcastle for just the chance for room. So I'm going up on a train, coming back on a night bus, which show's gonna be worth. But yeah, it's not the best weekend for them to be running, especially with other things going on in the area.
Yeah, it's pretty prohibitive for me. I think it's disappointing, but yeah, I think North is more of a I sort of said, I think over Carrot Weekend, sort of, what is WXW getting out of a relationship with Progress at this point? There's no value in it at all. It's a dead, say it's a dead company. What's the point? Whereas I think North feels more in the old-fashioned style of WXW. It seems more, it just feels more of a suited company to it. I see Body Slam and North being quite similar sort of companies. So yeah, this is a really, really good, really good partnership, and I'm, delighted to see it. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, it does sort of draw a big house. I think North are also partnering with Impact not long after.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a positive, move, and a lot of excitement coming forward to a part of the country which is some people would probably say is a bit starved for wrestling. Although it has been said, I think there's a lot of people who have said it's actually easier to get to Overhouse than it is to get to Newcastle. So that's
for that weekend, it absolutely will be, at least for me. But
so that's the beauty of the north of England. But that's a discussion for another podcast.
Yeah, going off of Watford Gap, and it's a bit of a stretch. I mean, I've checked thing like this show finishes it. They're saying the show's going to finish at 10:30, which just misses the last trains home. So yeah, if you're going up, you're either going to have a good long night out, or you're on that night bus back to London Victoria the next day if you come from down here. So yeah, so see what else they announced, but that's certainly going to be one to keep an eye on. I think North's on Fight Plus. Who knows? If it goes well, maybe we're seeing them as part of the Deluxe Renowned Friends Showcase next year.
Well, I think they're perfect people to be in the showcase for sure.
Yeah, and wants to company with somebody up from over here.
Exactly, someone we're not embarrassed by.
Moving on, so of course that's about it. We've got a few upcoming stuff. So August 12th, shock at the top after Bean Hall. So we've got Anil Marek challenging Robert Dreisk for the Unified World Wrestling title. Rotation challenging Lawrence Roman for Shotgun title. 1 week skipped over from the Shotgun vlog. Only Friends defending the tag titles against Zack Knight and Ricky Knight Jr. I mean, what the hell is that booking?
It was a very late night thing, wasn't it? Apparently, it was announced that
11 o'clock the night before the vlog dropped. Poor Mark Shuttle having to do the breaking news audio update, but yeah, that's one I think nobody expected. Either booking or that tandem coming to Germany.
it's a good pair of people to whack in your battle royal, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good pair of people to have you can whack into your battle royal. So I think it makes sense for them get a double booking, can't they?
Icarus against Michael Oku, both those in shortcut for top as well. Delmi XO, she's debuting and defending women's title against Calypso. And Axel Tisha Peach Tahani picks up again with Axeman 2-0 ahead. Shortcut for top match, we've got Sebastian Hackle and Mikhail Smolik. We've also got Maggot, set start number 1, Baby Alson number 30. Plus Fast Time Mudo, Axel Tisha, Paige Tahani, Lawrence Roman, Jacob Crane, Sense of Alto. Jörn Simmons, Ilya Bloom, Lavaniel, Nick Schreier, Icarus, Mike D, Michael Oku, Safar Amin, and Merck. That's I think formerly Graham Bell from the States, the guy who comes with that big ass bazooka that he has on the way to matches. So he's on a mini tour of Europe, WXW, I think PCW, and a few others as well. So there's one to keep an eye out for. Back end of August, August 25th, We Love Wrestling 48 for Bremen in Bremen at the Tivoli. We've got Bobby Guns with tag titles against Ambosses Robert Dreisk and Icarus. Maggot versus Sense of Alto. Tristan Archer and Axel Tischer against Peach Tahani and Ilya Bloom. Michael Oku, Jacob Crane, Babe Larson on the card as well. Matches to be announced. August 26th, Wheel of Wrestling 49 Marktal, while I think everybody else is probably at Wembley, but in Hamburg you can have Peach Tahani against Axeman unless Tischer wins match 3 at Chalk at the top. Tristan Archer against Ilya Bloom. Fast Time Mudo against Sense of Alto. And we've got Ambosses, Robert Dreisker, Icarus, and Lawrence Roman against Bobby Guns, Michael Knight, and the Mysterious X. Not the old Twitter app, I guess, but strange things have happened. And then, of course, Tag Team Festival weekend in the Circle 14th in Gelsenkirchen on September 21st. And then September 22nd, 23rd, 3rd, and 24th, Tag Festival, GCW Femmetal, Wheel of Wrestling, all of the Turbine Hall in Oberhausen. We'll, of course, hit those as we get new that weekend. But, Mike, a very rapid fire show. Anything to plug before we wrap up?
No. Follow me on everything, including Threads. At Mike Kilby.
Anything for us, follow us on at Big Back Body Drop on Twitter, at Back Body Drop on Instagram, Threads, and whatever else pops up. Quick show. We'll be back, I guess, in a few weeks after Shortcut for Top. See how that goes. How many more matches, names have been announced to that? I think it's about half done. And see what else comes for Tag Fest, because, yeah, those 2 months are going to absolutely fly by. See you in a few weeks. Cheers.
Bye.